I would say that a lot of foods nowadays are processed to some degree, especially if they're making their way to a supermarket shelf. It doesn't mean that all processed foods are bad. I mean, some foods have a small number of ingredients added to them in their manufacturing in order for them to be put on the shelf, and so it doesn't mean they're necessarily bad for you. They have an increasing number of ingredients in them to either give them a better taste, to give them a longer shelf life, okay, and to just make them look better, whether it's the color, or even the texture. And I think those are the foods to really look out for. There's been a lot of media coverage of ultra-processed foods recently because we are noting the negative effects that they have on people's health, from cancers to cardiovascular diseases and to digestive issues as well. So I think that reducing your intake of processed foods requires a little bit of effort in terms of what you buy, trying to buy fresher ingredients, things that look more real. One of the ways to do that is to make sure that the foods that you're buying are minimally processed and have less than 5 ingredients. Obviously, if you're buying fruit, vegetables, fresh meats, fish, eggs, you know that they're going to be very minimally processed, but I'm talking about the more packaged foods. Reading labels is a really good way to do that. So when you pick up a box and you look at the back, if there are lots of ingredients that you really don't recognize, you're going to know that's a pretty ultra-processed foods. And we know that a number of those ingredients really do have negative effects. And some people even have allergic reactions to them, like monosodium glutamate, even sweeteners. So these are the more obvious ones, but there are some that are much less obvious. And so it's worth doing a little bit of research into what the additives are. Eating an ultra-processed food diet really does have a negative impact on your gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome is an ecosystem made up of a number of different elements, including the gut bacteria or the gut flora, which need to be in balance. So a number of the chemicals in the ultra-processed foods can have a negative impact on the gut flora. But also, ultra-processed foods tend to be devoid in nutrients, antioxidants. They tend to be devoid in fibers, which the gut microbiome feeds on. And so eating a diet that is purely ultra-processed or very high in ultra-processed foods is bound over time to have a negative impact on your gut health and your microbiome.